Okay, we have a big panel tonight. Sambit Patra, Udit Raj of the BJP, Prafula Ketkar of the organizer on one side tonight. Asaduddin Owaisi, Chief and Member of Parliament of the Lok Sabha from the All India Majlis-e-Ittihad al-Muslimin. Professor Kancha Ilaiah, Dalit activist and author. We have with us tonight K. Vishweshwar Reddy, Member of Parliament of the TRS. Mr. Reddy, welcome. And also with us tonight, sitting there with Kancha Ilaiah in our studios in Hyderabad, is Donatha Prashant. He's also a suspended Dalit research scholar. He's one among 4 other students, besides Rohit, who was suspended by the university just a few weeks back. Prashant, welcome. Let me start by asking you here, the politicians say we have nothing to do with it. Rohit died. He's got nothing to do with our action. Letters we wrote, we weren't putting any pressure. We are sorry he died, but you can't blame us. That's the standard response that we have received from the central government, that we have received from the minister in this specific case, Bandatu Dattatreya, from BJP leaders. Don't ask us. We are sorry he died, but don't ask us why he died. We are not responsible for it. You were also suspended, along with Rohit.
Absolute lies.
Yes, go ahead, Prashant. Go ahead.
They are absolute lies, because we have here a letter represented by Bandaru Dattatreya directly written to Minister, Union Minister for HRD, Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani ji, in which he has directly accused Ambedkar Students Association and also the politics that are going at University of Hyderabad as casteist, extremist and anti-national politics. And also he has acted as if he was the direct witness to the incident, and he has mentioned that when Sri Sushil Kumar, President ABVP in the campus, protested against this, he was manhandled, as if he witnessed the entire incident, that Mr. Sushil was manhandled. And secondly, he was telling as if he took Mr. Sushil Kumar
Sambit.
and admitted him in the hospital. He also says that he was admitted in the hospital. On what reason was he admitted in the hospital? What has happened exactly? Mr. Sushil Kumar got operated for a surgery on account of appendicitis. It is not that because someone has beaten Mr. Sushil Kumar. In fact, as Arnab, you have rightly said that the Proctorial Board first report clearly states that there was no violence that has happened on behalf of Ambedkar Students Association on ABVP activists.
Yeah. The way I look at it, the way the facts present themselves to me, it's pretty obvious what has happened here, Sambit. It should be obvious to you as well. The student is correct. There is a report here, which is the Proctor's report in this case, which lets off the student with a strong warning. And then Bandatu Dattatreya intervenes, one minister writes to another. I don't know what the HRD ministry does after that. They might have forwarded this complaint. On the basis of that political intervention, Sambit, the entire report is changed. There's a second report which now comes in. And the same students, including Prashant, who had been let off with a strong warning, are expelled, are suspended from the university, suspended from the hostel, suspended from a presence on the campus. Their fellowship money is held back. So the only thing which happened in between, Sambit, is political interference. Prashant, you have any doubt about it? That the only thing which changed, these students, there was an investigation, they were let off with a warning, and then the Mantriji got very upset. Some ABVP leader must have complained to the Mantriji. Mantriji wrote to another Mantri, and the same students now face another action which is far stronger than the first. In other words, Sambit, the pressure was put by the politicians. At least have the courage to admit it. Because the letter is with us tonight. Yeah. This letter is in my hand tonight. So you can't even deny that a minister wrote such a letter. A minister putting pressure on students to punish students who don't believe in his political ideology is dangerous. Ministers interfering in scuffles on campus is dangerous. Ministers interfering in the functioning of central universities is unacceptable. A member of parliament is not the local bully. But that is exactly how Bandatu Dattatreya behaved. Why would you not take responsibility for Rohit killing himself then? Sambit, question is to you. Everyone's watching you now.
No, first my homage to Rohit, who has left us. And in fact, today morning when we got up and we came to know of this news, we all went through the suicide note of Rohit. So I would say, what has already been said by Rohit, the judgment which has been delivered by Rohit, why are we trying to judge
You want to shoot off
Rohit
his suicide?
said no one has instigated
you want to
by
now,
their act or by their
my God,
words
I don't believe it,
this
Sambit,
act.
that you're actually going
My birth is
you're
my
actually
fatal
going to read out his
accident.
suicide note to shoot off a dead man's shoulder. Are you doing this? I don't believe what you're doing. You are shooting off a dead man's shoulder. You're shooting off a man who killed himself. You're shooting off his shoulder. I'm sorry, Sambit.
Here I have a letter written by Rohith Vemula. Here I have a letter written by
Rohit Vemula. Do you believe Rohit's suicide letter, or don't you have faith on Rohit is my simple question.
Yes, categorically mentioned.
Can we mentioned about
it anyways? If you don't how Dalits have been treated on the university, how ABVP's influence has been managed in the university, and he has specifically written. He has written, in fact, to the university
my
vice
question
chancellor.
Is, do you have faith on Rohit or not? If you have faith on Rohit, please believe it.
All the Dalit students,
if you don't have faith on Rohit, don't believe him. It's as simple as that.
Feel like reading Ambedkar. Supply nice rope to the rooms of all Dalit students from your companion, the great Chief Warden. As we scholars, PhD students,
I am not here to debate as to how Hyderabad treats Dalits or not. If the Hyderabad does not treat, if Andhra Pradesh does not treat Dalits well, that is a separate debate. My debate today is on Arnab's question whether a BJP minister is responsible for instigating the suicide of Rohit, to which the answer is absolutely a big no, because Rohit himself has spoken. Why do you need me to speak?
Bandaru Dattatreya, and in accordance with the BJP leader's intervention. This is very clear in this case. No, this is very clear in this case. I am showing you a letter which Rohit has written on 18th December 2015.
First of all, Sambit, Patra, just hold on for a minute. Prashant, just 1 minute. I think it is unacceptable.
No.
I think it is. One second, Prafulla, can you come in when I let you, please? No, when I let you, please. I'm speaking to Sambit right now. Can I speak to Sambit, please?
What hypocrisy! Reading out a suicide note is unacceptable. Even the court of law would allow anyone to be allowed to write from the suicide note.
Can I please have the right windows on the screen, please?
What are we having tonight?
Thank you, Sambit. Please understand the issue at hand. And I am Sambit, Patra, Sambit, hear me now, please. Okay? Let's talk about what is the law. First and foremost, to any layman.
Let's talk about what is the truth.
1 minute, Sambit, Patra. Here are the facts. I'll tell you what is the truth. I'll tell you what is the truth. I want to know from you. I want to know from you why the member of parliament and minister interfered.
He was an activist. He would have surely named. He would not have shied away from naming anyone who would have instigated him. My simple question to his friend is, don't you have faith on Rohit?
You are not here to question the friend. You are not here to question the friend, Sambit.
He was your dear friend. Would he lie on a letter?
Asaduddin Owaisi into this debate.
Mr. Sambit Patra, you must not have had read what he was relating to identity.
I have the complete letter.
I have the complete
suicide note with me.
His ideas
do you have the suicide note with you, sir?
His conscience is not being taken up.
Where in the suicide note is it written that anyone, any political party, any minister instigated him? Please read out that line. I will take the debate forward and apologize.
Okay, Sambit, will you be quiet for a minute? Sambit, will you be quiet for a minute? Will you be quiet for a minute, Sambit Patra? Sambit, will you be quiet for a minute, please? Prakash, 1 minute. Prakash, 1 minute. Prakash, 1 minute. Just a minute out here.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Okay, let's establish the facts of the case very clearly. There is a letter written by Bandatu Dattatreya on the 17th of August 2015. Prashant, okay? There's a letter.
Yes, sir.
Before the letter, Prashant and Rohit are let off. There is a due investigation by due process done by the Proctor of Hyderabad University. Am I correct? Asaduddin Owaisi, let me get you into the debate. Am I correct in saying there is a due investigation by due process done by the Proctor of the university which lets off Rohit, Prashant and 3 other students? Am I correct? Then the minister writes this letter.
You're right.
Then the minister writes this letter. After the minister writes this letter, just a minute. I will let you come in. Don't interrupt right now. No, please. No, please stop. Let me establish the facts of the case. Don't protest too much. A student has killed himself.
No, you are
No, you will not interfere right now. I'm sorry, Prafulla Ketkar. I will lay the facts before the audience tonight. I don't care, BJP, Congress, anyone likes it or not. A student has killed himself. We want to take this lightly? There are two reports here tonight. And I can show this. Any number of BJP supporters can come out tonight. I don't care. There are two Proctor's reports. The first Proctor's report is dated the 12th of August 2015. Let's be logical tonight, Mr. Sambit Patra. The second Proctor's report is dated the 31st of August 2015. The first Proctor's report says the board could not get any hard evidence of the beating of this ABVP student Sushil Kumar. In the absence of hard evidence, it is written, strong warnings are issued. I have the report with me. Then there is Bandatu Dattratreya's letter. First of all, who is Bandatu Dattatreya? He is the Labour Minister of India. He is not the Chief Justice of India. He is not the Chief Executive Officer of this country, and he has no functioning or executive role in Hyderabad University. He writes a letter to Smriti Irani saying that, please intervene. Here is the letter. First report, students let off. No evidence found. Then Bandatu Dattatreya writes a letter. And then, on the 31st of August, there is a second report of the proctorial. Stop sniggering, Mr. Just listen to what I'm saying. There's a second report which comes out, and the second report says, the same board says complete suspension from university. Read it here tonight. From classes, courses, hostels, other relevant connected things with immediate effect. I want to know how things change when a minister writes a letter. So the same students who were let off for lack of evidence are then punished, completely punished. First of all, unacceptable. Secondly, who is a minister to intervene? Then the student also, and I want Asaduddin Owaisi to come in, the student is denied his fellowship. How petty can you get? Punish the student. Drive him to the ground if required. Make him regret that he ever took on an ABVP member. We will crush him. We will crush the student's spirit completely and totally, till we teach them a lesson. That appears to me to be the simple logic tonight. Why should I not link the suspension of Rohit with political interference when a BJP MLC, as per the police complaint filed, and a central minister have intervened in relation to the alleged scuffle involving ABVP and ASA activists on the intervening night of August 3rd and 4th? Answer my question tonight. A student has died, and we are not going to be mute spectators to this. I now want Asaduddin Owaisi to respond. And Mr. One second. One second. Nobody will try and interpret a suicide note tonight. Asaduddin Owaisi.
Arnab, I am really thankful to the BJP spokesperson for once again showing to the whole nation that how cold-hearted they are, how sadistic and masochist can they become. Yes, you can use that letter, but for the personal interest and intervention of Union Minister, would Rohit would have committed suicide? Can you understand that a Dalit research scholar was socially boycotted? He was sleeping on the main road of the Hyderabad Central University. He was not allowed to take even food. He was not allowed to go to the library. Mr. Sambit, Patra, do you know what kind of impact it has on a 28-year-old Dalit scholar who is socially boycotted? And then you take pride and happiness and comfort in saying that a suicide letter. Please read the first letter written by Rohit, written to the university vice chancellor, stating that
this whole thing is in front of the High Court, and the High Court wanted what action taken report has been taken. The High Court wanted the university to submit as to what action has been taken.
Listen to what I have to say.
Are you aware of that? But anyhow, Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi has no respect for the court of the land.
Supreme Court, if you go through the executive council minutes of the university, it clearly states.
But the nation is watching that how cold-hearted BJP has become, that even a 28-year-old Dalit scholar's death does not move you. You do not have an iota of humanism left in
commonplaces and all. It is not just High Court. In response to communication.
1 minute. Prashant, 1 minute. Prashant, 1 minute.
The love you have for youth, it shows the cowardice of BJP, that but for that letter, it is your cowardice that your Vice Chancellor, your Minister has succumbed to your stupid ideology and has not allowed a young mind to grow, to dissent, to take on the ideologies. This is what we want
Arnab,
the youth of this nation to do. But it is because of your cowardice
that you should allow Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi to play his politics over here by calling everyone else's ideology. No,
it is shocking, Sambit, Patra.
I am telling you.
No.
It is shocking that the man who is responsible for division, the man who only speaks the language of division, today is trying to teach us. Mr. Owaisi, a divisive figure as you has no right to be preaching us unity. A divisive figure as you has no right to teach as to how we
talk about this incident, Sambit. Talk about this incident, Sambit, and I'll bring this back to the incident, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want this debate to be on this incident because Rohit has died tonight. And keep your politics out of it. Keep the political angles out of this debate tonight. And 1 minute, please. Students across this country will be watching this debate tonight. Sambit, Patra, stop please for a minute. Just stop for a minute, please. I will not allow any politics on this subject, first of all. I am asking a simple question.
You have allowed, you already have allowed.
Sambit, Patra remain restricted to why Rohit died. I am saying tonight that this constitutes, I am saying with the utmost responsibility tonight, Sambit, Patra, let this be heard loud and clear tonight, that what has happened constitutes harassment and not action. The students are let off with a warning on the 12th of August and then all of a sudden are subject to suspension after a minister intervenes. At first there is relief at being reprimanded, but being within a span of 19 days, their future is virtually snatched away from them. That is toying with their emotions. There is a constant flip-flop over their fate. On the 8th of September, their suspension is implemented. On the 11th of September, their suspension is revoked. On the 24th of November, their suspension is upheld by a committee. On the 16th of December, their suspension is modified. In that, they are allowed to complete their course, but they are not allowed to stay in hostels. So punish them. They are not allowed to participate in student union elections. Teach them a lesson. They are not allowed to access to common areas and groups. Humiliate them. They are not allowed access to administration buildings, so they may never rise up again. And take away their money, the little money that they may be getting as deserving students for a fellowship. Deny them their money, bring them to the ground, leave them with no roof over their head and no food to eat, and then we will implement which political philosophy is right and wrong. Is this fair, Sambit, Patra? You want to tell me this is fair? By which definition is this fair? This is not fair.
I just want
it is immoral. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now I'd get I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'd like to get Prafulla Ketkar and then the others.
Are you aware of the fact that this whole case is in front of the High Court and the High Court wanted to know what action has been taken?
One at a time, Prafulla Ketkar tonight.
Are you not aware of this fact?
I am aware of more facts in this case than you think, Sambit, Patra.
No,
and I'd like to get Prafulla Ketkar right now.
Then you should make this nation aware as to what the High Court has said. I want to
ask you. I am asking you who is Bandatu Dattatreya to interfere in a student issue.
High Court
has not given any judgment yet.
Please. High Court does not belong to Bharatiya Janata Party.
High Court has not given any judgment
High Court are not members of Bharatiya Janata Party. The High Court cannot be influenced by Bangaru Dattatreya.
Can I get all
the
the
High
windows,
Court cannot
please?
be influenced by Smriti Irani.
High Court has not given any judgment yet.
High Court has to say.
The High Court petition, we were not being respondents.
The High Court had asked
Sambit Patra for shame.
the University Legal
Sambit
Counsel
Patra.
what action has been taken report.
Yes, please, if I may.
What action has been taken and why no action has been taken?
I'd like to get Kancha Ilaya on this case. Sambit Patra, I think you don't understand how universities are supposed to function. I'm sorry, Sambit. Speaking over everyone does not make you correct.
Sorry, you are not understanding now. You have shown what true color of BJP is. If you are turning this as politics over bodies, I think you are anti-Dalit, you are anti-Ambedkar.
You are misrepresenting the fact. Mere shouting will not prove the fact. Mere shouting will not prove the fact.
What is politics?
The fact is, in his suicide note, he talks about his emptiness. He talks about his, his soul and body is what he says. Why he will talk so? You are linking a suicide to a totally obscure incident. Why that incident occurred?
Okay, here you are. Here you are, sir. Here you are.
Was organized
Prafulla Ketkar, 1 minute, Prafulla Ketkar.
You are not making
no, you don't shout Prafulla Ketkar.
Why it was called anti-national?
I'll tell you.
You can't miss
Prafulla
the fact.
Ketkar.
That is completely wrong. That is completely wrong.
Not just
That is completely wrong.
We represent
We do
Hyderabad.
not agree
He has
with the
every
view
right
of
to write a
Prafulla.
letter.
We do not agree.
The problem is you can't be selective. You can't be selective. You are reading a convenient portion.
In fact,
read a complete suicide note.
The more you shout, the more you're revealing yourself. The more you shout, the more you're revealing yourself. Will anyone answer me one question tonight? Please tell me one simple, straightforward question.
No, I'm not supporting
Prafulla Ketkar, if you are here to give a speech and not answer my questions, you have no business of doing so. Answer my questions, don't make a speech. This is not the RSS office.
Yes.
A student has died. You want to keep protesting?
I don't
1 second, Prafulla Ketkar. Understand the question. Understand the question. BJP is in power.
Yes.
BJP is in power in India, right? You tell me, is the ABVP in power in campuses?
But you are
is the ABVP in power in campuses across the country?
In his suicide note he writes there is no connection. Why he will write? I feel a growing gap between my soul and my body. And I have become a monster. Why he will write that in
you
suicide
want to
note?
shoot off I think this is cowardice to be shooting off the shoulders of a man who has killed himself when you very well know that your central minister Prafulla, without shouting. Prafulla, without shouting. Without shouting, let me ask you a question. Without shouting. My condition is don't shout.
No, you are.
My condition is don't shout. I have a question to ask you tonight. Okay?
No.
Please tell me, on what basis did Bandatu Dattatreya put pressure for action against Rohit? On which technical ground did he put political pressure for action against Rohit? 1 minute, I have not completed. I'll rephrase the question another time so that you understand. Did Central Minister Bandatu Dattatreya put political pressure for action against Rohit, knowing fully well that a duly constituted body of the university had let him off? Yes or no? Letter is with me. Yes or no?
Have you completed?
Do you want more time to think it through? Okay, then I'll move to someone else. No, don't keep asking. Of course I've completed. Answer the question.
No.
Did Bandatu Dattatreya put political pressure for action against Rohit or not? Did he write this letter dated 17th August 2015 or not?
Does he?
Did he or did he not?
Did he
or did he not? Did your central minister and BJP leader put pressure to take action against a student who had taken on a BJP student leader?
Does he represent Hyderabad constituency or not?
Pardon me? What kind of argument is that?
And now, does he represent Hyderabad?
Do you even know how this country functions? What do you think? You're the biggest bullies of this country.
Because as an MP, he has right to.
Okay. Counter to that is.
Secondly,
don't shout again. Don't shout. Don't shout. 1 minute.
See, nobody is justifying.
Okay, 1 second. You are saying, is he the Hyderabad MP or not? To which I have a simple response.
No.
To which I have a simple response. Does the Member of Parliament of Delhi interfere in the functioning of Jawaharlal Nehru University?
Parliament constituency.
Yes, 1 second. A counter is coming in from the TRS MP. Go ahead, please, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Reddy. Mr. Reddy is countering you. Mr. Reddy from Hyderabad. Go on, Mr. Reddy. Mr. Reddy is answering your question. Please be quiet, Prafulla.
Why the matter was called anti-national? See, you are
Arnab, this is in Chevalla parliamentary constituency which I represent.
Yeah.
And Arnab, it's really sad. But let's, when something like this happens, we immediately politicize it or we blame it on caste issue. Firstly, let's have the facts before. The person, unfortunately, Rohit, although he is from Ambedkar Student Association, let's not jump to the conclusion he's a Dalit. He's actually a BC Vadra from Guntur district. So let us not bring the caste issue here. It is unfortunate he was from the Ambedkar Association, which probably opposes the ABVP. I can see student politics, but definitely I don't see a caste issue here because he is not a Dalit in the first place. The second issue is,
he is a Dalit, sir.
We immediately jump. We are in the middle of GHMC elections
here. He is a scheduled caste person from Guntur.
Anyway,
sorry,
that doesn't matter.
Vadra.
He is a Dalit.
Anyway, that does not matter, Prashant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. One minute.
Every death is unfortunate.
Let us not blame it on caste. It's not a caste issue for sure. It is it could be a student politics issue.
SCST Act has been booked on the Tataria.
Political influence.
Okay, let Mr. Reddy complete.
And if there is a political influence, do you blame the politician or the Vice Chancellor? Vice Chancellor is the ultimate deciding authority. We should we blame the politician who wrote a representation letter or should we blame the Vice Chancellor? There are several complaints coming for the last 1 year against the administration even when it was under Congress government. So I don't want to blame this politician or this politician. There's a greater malice. The greater malice is whether it's a VC or a small-time officer, we are allowing ourselves, the government officials and the VCs, we are allowing ourselves to be influenced by the politician. And I would definitely put the responsibility on the administration of the university rather than. For me, the GHMC elections, I can easily score political brownie points against BJP right now. I don't want to do that. First, let's examine, as per the law, it is the Vice Chancellor who's the ultimate authority. So why not examine what are the lapses in the administration? How did he allow himself to be influenced by whether the Prime Minister or a Cabinet Minister or an MP? I think we need to examine this first.
Well, I think, the fact is, let's also go to the nub of the issue, Mr. Reddy. This student to have faced this kind of action because the netas got together and put pressure on the Vice Chancellor or the university administration. At least let us have the honesty to say so. Sambit, that's what you're not understanding. If the politicians get together to bully university officials, at least let there be the honesty to admit so. 1 minute, just 1 minute. I want Kancha Ilaiah to come in on the other side. Kancha Ilaiah, today the netas say we have nothing to do with why Rohit died, whether he killed himself or not. We are sorry for it, but we as a fraternity have nothing to do with Rohit's death. Your take on this, please, and then I take the debate forward. Yes, please. Dr. Ilaiah?
Now, Arnab, the issue is that Rohit, unfortunately, with his death and a brilliant philosophical letter on the one side and a very direct letter on the other side to the Vice Chancellor, that give us either a poison or a long rope to hang, because our life has been reduced to identity, has now opened an issue of debate on this university education. Now, what is happening all over the country is that the ABVP is on all campuses all over. Whenever somebody does an activity, whether it is this activity, that activity, they protest. If there is a conflict, they directly go to their ministers, their MLAs, their MPs. They write letters to the MHRD, and the MHRD directs to whom? The Vice Chancellors appointed by the same MHRD. Now, what do the Vice Chancellor do? I have been on the selection committees of the Vice Chancellors also. Because after all, they are appointed by them. When a minister writes a letter, even if the MHRD redirects that letter to the Vice Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor thinks that this is the government order.
Now, this has resulted in the second decision of even the executive committee.
That is the mistake of the Vice Chancellor.
Executive committee's executive committee.
So I think no, what's a Kancha Ilaya and Mr. Reddy. Kancha Ilaya and Mr. Reddy, one second. Kancha Ilaya and Mr. Reddy, please. I want to say something to both of you. I think you are both complicating the issue. No, I'm sorry. No, Kancha Ilaya and Mr. Reddy, hear me.
Vice Chancellor has not gone and met the students.
Mr. Reddy, come to the nub of the issue. You are a politician, and Ms. Kancha Ilaya, you have enough experience of campuses.
Do you think that Rohit
the bottom line is this. The bottom line is this.
No action.
Kancha Ilaya.
And the university
Kancha Ilaya.
That kind of action, if there was no letter like
Kancha Ilaya, the politician, the BJP leader, the central minister Bandatu Dattatreya put political pressure on the university through the Union HRD ministry for intervention and action against the students. Now the Union HRD ministry should have intervened and said to Bandatu Dattatreya that Mr. Bandatu Dattatreya, Bangaru Dattatreya, MP from Guwahati cannot interfere in the functioning of IIT Guwahati. A Delhi MP cannot interfere in the functioning of JNU. A Shiv Sena MP from Mumbai cannot interfere in the functioning of IIT Mumbai. And hence you have no right to interfere in the functioning of the University of Hyderabad. Mr. Dattatreya, you are not the Daroga of Hyderabad. That you should start calling student groups on a university campus, you have nothing to do with names. That's the simple point tonight.
Of the people.
The Neta had no business in interfering in the first place. The Neta interferes and the student leaders get emboldened because they feel that our Netas are now ministers. They are extracting their pound of flesh. And the Netas are willingly obliging. They are building a support group for themselves by behaving like the local bullies on a campus. Sambit Patra has been to a campus. He should have the humility to say that a Minister of State for Labour should not concern himself with the administrative matters of a university he has nothing to do with. And then wash his hands off when it happens. Sanjay Hegde wanted to say something to Sambit. Sanjay Hegde, please.
No, Arnab, I want to put few points. You have
Sanjay Hegde first, please. Sanjay Hegde, please. First
Sanjay Hegde.
On
the 120, not a caste issue.
Sanjay Hegde, it's not a caste issue, but it's a student issue.
It's the 125th anniversary of Dr. Ambedkar's birth.
Remember, he is a Yadav. So please
I don't care about your caste
issue.
That's okay. Listen, today on the 125th anniversary of Ambedkar's birth, we have somebody from the scheduled castes or the backward castes being forced to commit suicide. I can't think of something worse than that.
No, but please don't speak against Bangaru Dattatreya. He himself is a man from backward caste. You are speaking against Ambedkar, Mr. Sanjay Hegde, Mr. Bangaru himself is from backward caste. How can you elect a backward class minister?
He wrote that letter because the Akhil Bharatiya Vigilante Parishad,
you cannot elect a backward class minister on unfounded reason. Bangaru Dattatreya is a Yadav person by caste. He belongs to backward community. And this is not a caste issue.
Letter, did he not? But did he not write the letter? Did he not write the letter against the backward community?
No, just tell me where in this letter Mr. Bangaru Dattatreya has written that there should be action against Mr. Rohit. Where in the letter he has written that there should be action against Rohit? He has only written in the letter that law should take its own course.
He says
right to write a representation in one's own constituency?
No, Mr. Patra, please don't be economical with the truth.
No, you should know the
Please do not be economical with the truth. That letter very clearly for somebody who is in administration.
After Yaqub Memon was hanged, after Yaqub Memon was given
as well as a beef festival, let us put it this way, that both these things were against what the ABVP wanted.
To which he was manhandled. So what is wrong if someone
Sambit,
writes
Patra,
a letter?
Sambit.
He also objected to the beef festival. He also objected.
I think I'll have only the student and Sambit on air. I'll have only the student and Sambit on air and Asaduddin Owaisi on air. And may I please?
Position against capital punishment, then you are calling Ambedkar himself as anti-national.
Okay, Prashant, this is not about caste. Prashant, as far as I am concerned, please, Prashant, do not go that way, because that is a way that politicians want to go. They want this to become about caste. They would love it.
Yes.
Dalit, Yadav, OBC, non-OBC, Hindu, Muslim.
Caste? I was saying don't make it about caste.
Please,
you
let's stay focused on the facts of the case. I want you to remain focused on the facts of the case. And the facts of the case is political interference by BJP leaders and something that had nothing to do with. I have the letter. One second.
All shouting
we are now going back to the debate, which is the facts of the case. Sambit, Patra, wait a minute. Sambit, Patra, Sambit, don't speak over me. It does not help you.
You read.
It does not help you.
Yes.
Please, I'll get Owaisi on the other side and Sambit on the other. We're going to debate this now. I've not seen something more strange. You immediately want to make it a caste issue so that the rest of the debate can go on about caste politics.
Issue, sir.
I am not. I am talking about a student who died. I have not made a single reference to the caste of that student.
I
have said an Indian citizen, a 25-year-old young man killed himself. Where did you find the reference to caste? I did not make any references to caste. It is in your imagination that you want to see a reference on caste. There is not a single reference on caste that I made, because Sambit, Patra, we were in college when politicians divided our generation on caste. So Sambit, Patra, I am sick and tired of politicians trying to divide this country and the campuses of this country on college and religion, on caste and religion, and don't go there. Therefore, stay focused to the facts of the case. The facts of the case are this. The facts of the case are this, Sambit. The letter of August 12th, written by Bandatu Dattatreya to Smriti Irani, effectively seeks action on the students. Why and on what basis does he seek action on the students is the issue. Dattatreya refers to Hyderabad University becoming a den for casteist, extremist and anti-national politics. He specifically refers to the incident involving Sushil Kumar of the ABVP, in whose defense he comes. He says he was manhandled. Even though the first Proctor report, of which I have a copy, did not draw any link between the hospitalization and the incident. So he, basically a central minister, writes fiction to demand action against students who dared to take on a BJP student leader. I don't know for the life of me which BJP leader can support this. Which means anyone who takes on an ABVP leader will now be afraid that some BJP mantri at a state or center will come fighting for them. BJP ministers have nothing else to do.
Is the High Court of the
BJP ministers have nothing else to do. They only want to fight campus battles.
You have the right.
What's going on in this country, Sambit?
Mr. Goswami,
I'd like to get. No,
I know, Mr. Goswami.
Why is this is politicization? My point, Sambit.
My question is the High Court.
You don't ask the question. You answer my question. You answer my question.
Yes, I'm answering your question.
The question is simply this. The simple question is simply this, and I put this to Mr. Owaisi, debate between you and Mr. Owaisi right now. A central minister writes fiction to come out in defense of a BJP student leader demanding action against the students who took them on. My understanding of this is like this, that today in every local scuffle in every campus, if there is a ABVP leader involved, then the line for the ABVP leader will be, mere paas mantri hai. Mere paas mantri hai, so we are going to teach you a lesson. This is not the way for this country to be run. This is not Achedin by any imagination. This is plain and simple political bullying. You better realize what this is about. Don't try and justify it by any other name. Asaduddin Owaisi on the other side now, please. Reopening the debate. I'm sorry. Nobody was butchered on the Hyderabad University campus. Don't put out fiction out there. Nobody was butchered on the Hyderabad University campus. Don't lie on national television. Who was butchered on the Hyderabad University campus? What are you saying tonight?
In West Bengal, because all of you are afraid.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about Hyderabad. Don't link the unrelated. Now you're going in another tangent, which means you have nothing to say. The first report of the Proctoral Board states, viewers, the first report of the Proctoral Board says,
of West Bengal, and none of these media love would be for the butchery of RSS and
Sambit Patra,
All of you would debate an unfounded issue.
Mr. Patra, I've seen the standard tactic.
My homage is for Rohit.
But please, first of all, I will not learn my journalism from you. Thank you very much. But Sambit Patra, this has nothing to do with Bengal. We'll discuss Bengal separately, okay? And I don't need political approval for that.
No, this is the question.
I'm asking a simple question.
When our Karyakartas died.
You tell me what happened in Hyderabad. Why did the minister interfere? Why did the minister intervene?
We have nothing to do with a sorry.
You won't talk about Hyderabad. You want to concede, so I get Owaisi on the debate.
And Mr. Owaisi, a divisive character, is present over here.
You have nothing to say on the Hyderabad incident. Why did the minister interfere? What is his business? Who is he? Vice Chancellor, self-appointed
Goswami,
Vice Chancellor?
The High Court is hearing the case. The High Court is hearing the case. The High Court never said that any minister from Bharatiya Janata Party has interfered. Rather, the High Court asked the university, what has the action been taken as yet? Why action has been not taken? This is what was the question of the High Court.
Asaduddin Owaisi raises his hand to counter you right now, and I let him in.
The High Court is not a body of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Asaduddin Owaisi is countering you, please. Asaduddin Owaisi. Asaduddin Owaisi.
My counter to the BJP spokesperson is, will you allow the universities in India to become a nesting places for voices of dissent? Or will you allow them to become dens of ABVP only? Do you believe in pluralism? Do you believe in open society or not? Because if the
Udit Raj will respond. Udit Raj will respond. Udit Raj.
Please.
Udit Raj will respond to Asaduddin Owaisi.
No, listen.
Arnab, can I just finish? Mr. Udit Raj, don't you believe?
I think you should have not called for. Here, I've been sitting here for more than 50 minutes. Let me tell you, I have heard all debates. And all throughout life, I have been battling for Dalit. Even I resigned from the post of Additional Commissioner of Income Tax. See what happened, our social system is like this. I heard that, of course, caste does not exist, caste exists. Imagine children who are in class 4 and 5 are of age of 7.
Udit Raj, answer the question, please.
They are not. Listen,
why don't you comment on the death of this boy?
Otherwise, I will not answer.
Why don't you comment?
Listen.
Was Rohit murdered?
If you will not allow, then I'll keep
Rohit's death. No, you belong to BJP party, Mr. Udit Raj, but for the letter of your minister, Rohit would not have committed suicide. But for BJP's intervention, Rohit would not have
what you people are doing to your wife.
Why don't you condemn it?
Your lady,
a young man has lost his life.
Mr. Udit Raj, you're not making relevant points.
You are very unfortunate he died.
For God's sake.
It's very unfortunate he died. You see, in AIMS, in many other institutions, students have committed suicide.
Why did the minister interfere? Why did the minister interfere? Mr. Udit Raj, I will ask you a simple question. I don't want a sociological analysis at this point of time. I'm sorry. This is an open debate, Mr. Udit Raj. Mr. Udit Raj, please hear me. You've been in government service. Answer my question.
Doesn't deny to write a letter.
Has become very cold-hearted.
Writing letters.
A young man has lost his life.
In 1 year, we have written 4 pages of letters.
And
so just
after the letter
doesn't mean that
unqualified vice chancellor
to kill that boy. That boy. Death is very unfortunate. You are not Dalit activist. What are you talking about, Dalit activist?
Boycott.
What about in Aligarh Muslim University, in Jamia Millia University, there is no reservation. Mr. Owaisi, you cannot become the champion of Dalit. If you are champion of Dalit, go and make education against anyone, Jamia Millia University, where there is no
This has nothing to do with caste. I don't know why you don't understand. Mr. Udit Raj.
You cannot feel the agony of Dalit. I am a Dalit. I know I am struggling for them.
Mr. Udit Raj, 1 minute. Don't you understand this has nothing to do with caste?
What I am saying
This has nothing to do with caste. This has to do with political interference. You've got the angle wrong. You've got the angle wrong. I'm sorry, Mr. Udit Raj. I now get Sambit Patra back on the debate because I think you're veering off track. The issue here is not. Mr. Udit Raj, 1 minute, please. The issue here is not. And I repeat, the issue is not the caste of Rohit. No, 1 second, please, Prashant. The issue is not the caste of Rohit. The issue is very simple. There is a scuffle between two groups of students. One group is alleged to have put pressure on an ABVP student leader to apologize the allegation of assault. There is a finding of the university committee which says there is no conclusive evidence and the students are let off with a strong warning. Then the MLAs come in, then the mantris come in, then the central ministers come in, then political pressure come, then there is a fresh report. The same students, extreme pressure is put onto them, which can only be described as pressure to a point where you want to humiliate and insult a student and bring him to abject submission. At the end of the process, one of the students, who's also denied his funds, kills himself and commits suicide. The letter of the minister is very much here. Now on August 31st, and go back to the facts of the case tonight, Sambit. On August 31st, the office of the chief proctor comes out with a final report on the incident, and its findings are completely opposite to the first report. The first report found no evidence of a beating. Second report says that the student was abused, manhandled, beaten and forced to write an apology. The first report says that there is no hard evidence of beating and there is no hard evidence that there is any medical treatment because of which the student was beaten. The second report says completely something else. The point which emerges is that political pressure led the university to take extremely harsh action on a student, leading him to a situation where he killed himself. Why can you please in one sentence justify the political action tonight? Simply this. Tell me tonight, Sambit Patra, how many scuffles and how many university issues central ministers will get involved in when they have no locus standi, which means anyone can break any rules. There are rules, set rules of engagement for ministers. The rules have been broken, a student has killed himself. Did the minister have any right to interfere in this case, Mr. Patra? And if he did, if you believe the central minister's intervention is justified, prove to me why you think so. And please restrict your answer to the question I have asked.
Yeah, that's First, Mr. Goswami, let me tell you outrightly, our heart goes out for Rohit. I mean, whatever...
that will not bring him back to life. I'm sorry. That will not bring him back to life.
Mr. Goswami,
that will not bring him back to life. I'm sorry. That is no explanation. Our heart goes out.
No. Please, let me come.
Your heart goes out.
Our heart goes out for Rohit, but please, for God's sake, don't blame a minister for...
Why did the minister interfere?
Because I'm telling you, you wanted an answer, I'm letting the answer out of my mouth. Please allow me to answer at least. I'm saying so. I am no one to defend the Vice Chancellor. I am no one to defend the subcommittee of the Executive Council, which had 3 Dalit members in it, which in fact...
Sir, that's got nothing. Don't bring caste into this.
Was submitted in
Don't bring caste into this.
Because this report was submitted to the High Court. Casteist, you all wanted it to be casteist.
I am asking you why. Tell me why the minister interfered. Tell me why the minister interfered. Tell me why the minister interfered. On what basis did he interfere? You can't get away by saying a 26-year-old young man, an aspiring PhD scholar, has killed himself. Don't you understand?
You are not aware of the complete facts. How does the Mr. Goswami, you are not aware of the...
Sanjay Hegde and then Mr. Owaisi and then we are closing.
Mr. Goswami, the nation has the right to know the complete facts.
Sanjay Hegde and Mr. Owaisi.
Was the High Court
the Vice Chancellor, leave aside the committees of the university. The mother of the person of Sushil Kumar went to the respective High Court.
Listen.
The High Court...
Sambit Patra, was the High Court told that the minister wrote a letter?
No, why all of you want to...
Did the High Court know that the minister wrote a letter?
No, why all
of you... Did the High Court know?
Why all of you want to...
Did the High Court know?
I'm speaking the truth. When I speak about the High Court, you don't want to hear the truth because you want the public to know only the facts.
You are not. Did you tell the High Court that the minister wrote a letter?
Allow me to complete.
Did you write? Did you tell the High Court? Did you tell the High Court that the minister wrote a letter?
Can I just...
No, I'm asking you. The most relevant fact.
As soon as I present
Did you tell the High Court? Did you tell the High Court?
Okay, I'm taking a break and coming back. Okay, I'm taking a break at this point and coming back to the debate in 3 minutes. Taking a break and coming back. Okay, going back to the debate on why this is political interference or not. Now, a lot of responses on this debate. Asaduddin Owaisi, back to the debate. Sanjay Hegde was putting a point. I think I lost the phone line in between from Sambit Patra, who seems distracted, to say the least at this point of time. I don't think I have the phone line with him.
I wanted to ask Sambit something, if you don't mind.
Let's see if we got the phone line with Sambit. We're trying to get the phone line with Sambit. Sambit is back now.
No,
okay, counter to Sambit, yes, please. Go on. Sanjay Agre is putting a question to you, Sambit.
Important...
No, 1 second, please.
Okay.
Don't jump to some information you may have just received.
I just wanted to ask something.
Calm down. Don't jump. I know you may want to share some information you've just received. Just wait a while. Wait a while, Sambit. Wait a while. Take the questions.
Sambit, you remember the time you were fighting for youth for...
Yeah, go on. Yes, Sanjay Agre, go on.
Youth for equality. If at that point of time somebody had said that you would not continue on AIMS campus, if somebody had told you that you would not get a PG seat, if somebody had told you at that point of time you would forever be isolated from academia, would you think that was fair? Please remember when we were young, how idealistic we were. Remember how we fought injustice. The point is that from student politics, every leader has come, whether it's Arun Jaitley, whether it's Nitish Kumar, whether it's Lalu Yadav. How do you justify politicians coming in and ruining student politics? That is where we have to draw the line. Right. Please keep our universities places of open minds,
can I answer?
No vigilantes.
No, and just one point here. If you are saying here today that, we are very upset with these students anyway because they are supporting Yaqub Memon on campus, then Sambit, if you are opposed much... the earlier point which was made by, I think, Prafula. The point is, if you're so angry about people opposing Yaqub Memon's hanging, which I also opposed, strongly opposed, but you are the government, you take action, then take action against all the movers and shakers of Lutyens Delhi who've been supporting Yaqub Memon. Don't take up a group of students in Hyderabad, right? Now, why did the central minister write the letter?
It's not supporting.
Why did the central minister write the letter?
Over here.
Why did he write the letter?
Arnab, have you gone through the Executive Council's minutes of the meeting?
Have you gone through the second proctoral report of August 31st, 2015?
No, my simple submission, Mr. Goswami, it is form of a challenge. The challenge is the expulsion of Mr. Rohit and other 4 friends of his took place before Mr. Bangaru Dattatreya wrote a letter, before the HRD minister forwarded this letter. And this would be amply clear once the minutes of the Executive
That means nothing. It proves nothing.
So before you accuse the BJP government...
I'm sorry, I don't know where you've got this line
please
from.
Please go through the minutes of the Executive
Sambit, I'm sorry. Sambit,
one second. Even before this letter
Sambit, listen to me. Listen to me. From wherever you have got this information from, whichever your source, you go back and ask one question to the source. Okay? Because you seem to be just watch. Sambit, understand what I'm talking about. Sambit, understand what I'm talking about. Wherever you've got the source, I have one question to ask. You have got sources. I'm sure you have got sources, and sources are telling you that ask this question. This will prove you correct, etc., etc. You go back and ask the source one simple question: that is it true that the first Proctor report of August 12th said let them off with a strong warning, and the second Proctor report of August 31st said that you completely suspend them from the university, from classes or courses, hostels and other relevant things with immediate effect? Just go back and ask. Is this true or not?
No, I'm answering you. Why should I go back and ask anyone? I'm ready to answer
me.
Right
so
here, right now.
Right.
Why should I be speaking for the Proctor's decision? Why should I be speaking for the Executive Council?
Okay.
The simple issue is I speak for my minister and my government. My government had not wrote the letter when the expulsion had taken place. And secondly, this whole thing was challenged on the floor.
It is not your letter, Baba. It is not your letter. There's a...
I don't know. So who is anyone else to question a letter?
Now, Sambit, I can only respond to your question by saying this. No, Sambit, I'll only respond to your situation by saying this. That as the... One sec. Prashant is intervening, but before that, Sambit, I want to tell you this. You can wake up a person who is sleeping, but your response is such tonight that you've closed yourselves on the facts, we're regurgitating something. You can't wake up a person who's pretending to be asleep. There are two... Sambit, why don't you understand a simple fact? You're taking it personally. There's a first Proctor's report which says that nothing beyond warning. There's a second Proctor's report which says take away everything from these students. And in between there are some politicians who get involved. Simple. What changed in 19 days? Now, you can look at the facts in a way that you're going to be blind to the fact. The fact is something changed in 19 days, and the involvement of the MLCs, the involvement of the local MP, the involvement of Bandatu Dattatreya, all happened in between. The more you go into denial mode, the more... This is the time to say it. This is time for politicians to stay out of campuses. Prashant wants to respond. Prashant.
Arnab, the logic which Sambit is putting is entirely absurd, because Executive Council minutes have come in the month of November, while there was a letter written by Under Secretary Ramji Pandey on 3/9/2015. That means the letter has gone even before the decision of the Executive Council subcommittee. So how do you justify it? How does
and by the way, Sambit,
Mr. Sambit Patra justify
no, by the way, Sambit, why you are completely wrong is because our entire argument so far was never based on any intervention by the HRD ministry. I don't know, you're the first person telling me that. My entire argument was based on Bandatu Dattatreya's letter. You seem to be acknowledging some communication happened between HRD ministry and the university. I have not even suggested that. You're the first person saying so tonight.
HRD ministry and the HRD ministry forwarded it. You were saying.
No, I'm saying Bandatu Dattatreya. I'm not.
And now when caught you
I have said Bandatu Dattatreya. Sorry, I have said Bandatu Dattatreya wrote a letter. But tell me more, Sambit. I'm very curious. When did the HRD ministry write?
Willfully neglecting.
What did the HRD ministry write?
Willfully neglecting sentences of Executive Council subcommittee, where Executive Council has clearly stated, in response to communications received from MHRD. The Executive Council has replied in response to the communication received from MHRD.
I have maintained my stand from very beginning. Stating that I am no one to state about what the Vice Chancellor or his Proctor or his Executive Council does. But my simple submission is all
but why are you manipulating the
High Court? And the High Court, in fact, after going through all the details of Sushil Kumar, the person we are talking about in the center, in fact, the High Court asked the university as to why the university was lackadaisical in taking action and what action within what time frame
you look at these Sambit, one second while we are speaking tonight and while you are being so defensive, I would like to get Owaisi back to the debate. I have a simple question tonight. Look at the pictures of that devastated family. Just look at these pictures. What are we explaining anything to anyone to? We don't have a heart. We don't have a conscience. Our netas have nothing to do. Our netas have to take on students. So if netas at the end of the day, instead of serving the people, there are enough unemployed graduates in this country today. The Minister of Labour should find the way to get them jobs. You don't think about that family, the loss that family goes through. I really think, Sambit, that sometimes netas should put themselves in the sometimes netas should put themselves in the shoes of meritorious students and ask themselves, how much effort does it take? How hard does a family work? How much sacrifice does a mother make to take a student from a middle class background to aspire to reach the stars? The mistake the student made was he got into a scuffle and then he hurt some politician's ego. Sambit, forget the politics tonight. Say netas have no business political. I'm sorry, Sambit. I'm sorry, Sambit. Political egos are not bigger. You please hear this tonight. There are students who will ask you tonight. Students can support any party in this country. Congress, BJP, Aam Aadmi Party, X, Y and Z. Students can have political views. Student politics is not bad. Netas and mantris are not bullies. They have no right to enter the campus. They have no right to bully other students. They have no right to take sides tonight. Netas have no right to take sides in a student issue. They better stay out of it. Because you are essentially saying that one student is stronger because he's a ruling party person behind him and another student is weaker because he doesn't. If that happens, then our campuses will become absolutely nothing but lakes of inequity. And which is why look at it from a top-down perspective tonight, Sambit Patra. I'm sorry. You have to answer your conscience tonight. The mantris have no business doing muscle flexing on this case. I'll say it openly. No mantri has any business doing muscle flexing on this case. They don't have a right to do muscle flexing on this case.
Butchered on the streets of Bengal and Kerala.
I need you to answer about what happened in Hyderabad. Don't go to Bengal at every slightest instance. We know which issues to pick up in Bengal. Mr. Owaisi is coming back to the debate and then I'm closing.
Have been killed in Bengal, Mr. Goswami.
Do you know what a mother goes through when she sees a student? Do you think a 25-year-old student aspiring for a PhD kills himself just like that?
Linking to unrelated
you want to, I'll tell you one thing, Sambit. You think you are going to crush the spirit of a student by you. What you don't intend to crush, then tell Bandatu Dattatreya to mind his own business. But Bandatu Dattatreya must mind his own business. Simple. Stay out of it. Stop writing letters complaining, whining. My student leader, you're whining. My student leader, ABVP student leader treated badly, please help. That's complaining, whining, and using muscle.
Absolutely.
Bullying. These tactics don't work. This is 2015.
No,
this is not 1990. Those tactics divided a generation of students between 1990 and 93. Today's students will not go through what students went through in the early 90s when first Mandal and then Babri was thrust onto them to divide a generation forever. Which is why nip it in the bud. Go and tell these mantris, mind your own business, do some good for this country instead of trying to settle your scores. And your hyperinflated political egos.
Sorry.
Arnab, the most unfortunate part out of this whole issue is
Arnab,
60% of our country population is youth. 60% of our population are youth. And the basic
Owaisi, don't try to play politics over here. Don't try to divide us on the lines of caste and creed. You are the most divisive personality of the country today. And you are trying to preach us, Mr. Owaisi, introspect as the kind of politics you are into.
You deal with them.
Don't politicize this. Don't politicize this.
Take action on this case.
You were the first one who brought the issue of Dalit.
Take action in this case.
You should apologize.
Ask Mr. Owaisi who has politicized
you talked about caste, Mr. Owaisi. You talked about caste. You said this is the Dalit death. You talked about caste, Mr. Owaisi, and you exposed. You are trying to retract your steps.
How you treat the youth?
Okay.
How you treat the youth, I say.
Mr. Owaisi, don't treat. Is this the way you treat your fellow citizens?
But Sambit Patra and Mr. Owaisi now pull back. Beyond politics, Mr. Owaisi and Ms. Sambit Patra. I think politics at one point is to stay out of campuses.
So I think
take some action. Take some action. Someone's going to have to face action for what happened. Looking the other way, shooting off a court's shoulder, and certainly shooting off a suicide note is not acceptable. I thank you very much for joining me
homage to Rohit
for debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.